Hey, what's up, guys? I've been meaning to make this for a while. I'm finally getting to it now. So recently, Beacon added something in its beta release, which is actually now on the full release. A new feature that allows you to schedule deployment of your server/servers, many as you want, and it's pretty cool. Uh, it's basically brand new, and I wanted to kind of show how it works. Now, I don't know how to do it on Mac. I have a Mac now, but I don't know how to do it yet. So I'm just gonna do it with Windows because that's where I'm the most comfortable. So the way that this works is essentially it's going to be almost like a URL. Uh, http://www.google.com takes you to Google. There is a sort of a path similar to that Beacon uses, which is beacon:// and then a bunch of characters after the fact. It's actually useful for other things besides this, but this is the latest iteration and feature of it. Now, there is a little bit of limitation to it at this time. There is no way to deploy different config sets, for example, at different times, at least not directly. There is actually a way to accomplish that. It requires kind of making a new project, and I will go over that in this video as well. So basically, I have a single player server, and I've already went and imported this server. And so you would start with your existing server or servers, and basically you're going to hit deploy, and you're going to check off the server. You can check as many of these as you want to with the deploy code. It will do all of them at once. So basically, instead of going through the regular deploy method, we're going to say copy trigger. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place that in this WordPad for now. The next thing that you need to do is you need to open Task Scheduler. And this is where we're going to make it happen. Now, in order to make it easier for you, I would recommend if you right-click on the Task Scheduler library, you can say New Folder, and then you can make a folder to put all the tasks into so that you can see them easier. And basically all we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to create a basic task. Now I'm going to name this deploy 1. And you could set the frequency to daily, weekly, monthly, one time, however you want to set it. I'm just going to tell it 2:17 p.m. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit next, and you're going to go to where it says, what action do you want the task to perform? And we're going to say start a program. And now this is where the paths might diverge a little bit between people. If you installed Beacon on only the user you are signed into Windows with, there is a shortcut that you can get to it from here, which I will make available in the description. And it's this UserProfile AppData local programs Beacon. If you installed it for all users, you can instead go to ProgramFiles The ZAZ Beacon. And you have to have these %signs before and after that. And if you're not sure, you can actually figure it out pretty easily as well. If you were to go to your Beacon shortcut and you say open file location, then it's going to bring it up in the start menu area. If you right click on that and then go to that file location, it will then bring you to the path where Beacon, the executable for Beacon, is installed. On Windows 10 and 11, you can actually click up in this section here, and it will just give you the file path, which you can then copy. So we're going to go back into Task Scheduler, and we're going to browse to that folder. So you can paste it right into here, hit enter, and then you're going to scroll down, you're going to find the application Beacon, and you're going to hit OK. So in this field, you're going to have the file path to where it is, and then beacon.exe. And then you're going to go to this Add Arguments optional. And you're going to go in this field here, and we're going to take this code that Beacon generated from the deploy window. We're going to go ahead and, we are going to paste it into this Add Arguments optional line. I'm just going to say Next and Finish. Now, this will automatically execute on the scheduled time. Now, you'll want to make sure that it doesn't say that it is disabled on the status. And you also want to keep a mind open for this next runtime. And as opposed to waiting for the task to execute, I am going to manually execute this task. So I'm just going to right-click it and say Run. You hit Run, Beacon will open. Actually, Beacon doesn't even have to be open for you to do this. You can have Beacon closed, as I do. And you just run it, and Beacon will open up on its own and deploy. So now if I log into that server or single player file, you will see that my changes that are on the server, which I did as an example, a crafting cost for a torch, I changed it to only wood. So I'll go ahead and get this loaded up, and then we'll check it out in a second. Okay, so now I'm in game. I'm going to go ahead and check in my engram list, and you will see that the torch indeed costs 1 wood to craft. So far so good, right? You can schedule that however you want to with the task scheduler, and it doesn't have to be local. It could be on a hosted server, and it could also be on more than one server. You just need to check each box that you want involved with the deploy and hit copy trigger. Now, in my case, I only have one server. I would imagine if you had more than one, you could probably do it a little differently than I'm about to. But let's say that I want to change it so that on the weekend, I have a different bonus available. And right now, there is no easy, simple, built-in way to do that, despite the fact that we have the config sets feature, which if you're not aware of, you should learn about. But at this time, there is no implementation of assigning config sets to the deploy. So instead, in order to accomplish a change, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to start a new project. And now I am going to import the server into this project. So go to import. In your case, you might go to Nitrito, Game Server App, wherever your server is. Go through the whole rigmarole of finding the server. And go ahead and import your INIs. And you can import everything in the file unless you want to start from scratch, in which case you could just say file link only and just go ahead and bring it all over. I'm going to name this single player 2. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it. So right now, both projects are using the same files, and they even share this ARC number name, and in your case, it would be the server name. But there is a unique identifier between these two projects. You can tell that it's different by looking at this number here. This 508, 4A, 308, whatever, and this one has a 60F8. So basically now I know that I have two separate projects that are unrelated. They're related in the sense they talk to the same files, but they're treated differently. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into crafting costs, and I'm going to change the torch again. And I'm going to add artifact of the devourer as a necessary ingredient for it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this now. So now I'm going to hit deploy, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to choose my server, and I'm going to copy the trigger. I'll go ahead and paste it here. Now, if you don't do it correctly, you will find that this code is identical to this code. If that's the case, then you need to try again. They have to be different codes, and the only way to do that is if you import it into a new project at this time. So anyhow, now I have this unique code, and I'm going to go back to the test scheduler now. And I'm going to create another basic task, and we're going to call this deploy to. And again, you set your frequency however you want. Time, day, whatever you want. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to start a program. We're going to go back to the Beacon executable. If you were in there recently, it should probably still be loaded, which it is on my screen. I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to take the new code I made, and we're going to paste it right here like we did before. And we're going to save it. Now, if you do this while the deploy window is still open, it doesn't work. So you have to at least close the deploy window. You can close Beacon entirely. You can also have different settings for if you want it to run whether or not the computer's logged in. Say run with the highest privileges, whatever floats your boat on that. But basically, the idea is you just need to have the task in there one way or another. As you can see, Beacon's not open. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this now. And Beacon has opened. And there's the thing, Beacon has deployed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load Arc again. So let me pause it. Okay, and I'm back. And we'll go ahead and look at the torch. And it does indeed require the artifact of the Devourer. Now, for good measure, one last time, I will go back and deploy the original project so that we can confirm that it is actually writing them both. So I'll just go back, make sure your deploy window is not open. Beacon can be open, it can be closed, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to go ahead and just manually run this scheduled task again. It is now deployed. I will go ahead and load Arc one more time. I am back again. Go ahead and check the engram, and we are back to just wood again. So that does actually work. So we can now schedule deploys to Beacon, from Beacon to the server to change your config at whatever time you want. And you can even, with a little creativity, implement different events for different times. There are some other things that can be done with this new feature. One potential thing, you can go into any browser window and paste that, and it will say that the site is trying to open Beacon. The website wants to open the application. You say open, and it will do the same thing. It just deployed the server again. Techers working on additional features for using that, and I think it's great. I really like the feature. I think it's just like everything else TechCore does, is very, very, very nice indeed. He even has some of these features available for some other things. There is a hyperlink to bring up refreshing your user. If your Omni account doesn't work, there's a link to do that. There's a link for doing a blueprint refresh in Beacon. There is a link for opening the ticket submission system into Beacon. So it's a cool little thing he does, and it's useful, and he does intend to expand on the deployment concept to try to implement config sets so you don't need to do multiple different projects. However, it is a large scale change because right now the deploy window does not have anything to do with config sets at all. So there would need to be significant backend changes to implement that. So in the meantime, if you want to schedule different things, that is the workaround. Otherwise, you can at least know that you can schedule a regular deploy at will. So one such use case example of this being a good thing is you could say, I want to dyno wipe. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So we got force respawn creatures option. If you turn this on, uh, and you deploy, the next time the server starts, all the wild dinos will be gone. However, the host will automatically set that back to off. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So if you have it scheduled to deploy, let's say daily, it will just continually keep sending that respawn command when it reboots, and it will do it again. And you can do that in a perpetual fashion, however you want. You can do weekend drop bonuses. You can do breeding multiplier bonuses on the weekend. You can implement custom config from mods on the weekend. Let's say you have Dino Storage 2. Maybe you have a special automation event where you let the breeders take advantage of some of their features for automation. For example, you could change the maximum creature level. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can have config sets in the mix too. It doesn't matter. You just won't be able to directly address the different config sets unless you split into additional projects. And again, you can deploy to as many servers as you like at the same time with the same code. And I don't know for sure if I have multiple servers. If I were to, let's say I have 5 servers. Let's say I make one deploy code that uses 1 through 4 and one that uses 1 through 5. I would have to assume that probably would generate a unique code and would not require needing a different project, but I don't know for sure. So anyhow, hopefully that helps someone. It's a very cool thing that he came up with, and I, I, I I don't think it's gotten enough attention. It kind of came out of nowhere on a user's request, and he slipped it in pretty quickly. And I think it just left the beta state yesterday, as a matter of fact. So again, he will continue to refine that over time, but right now it is a huge benefit. So I hope you guys found this useful, and have a great day.